Thanks for the opportunity to come here and talk. Well, we all know there's a global push to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But here in Australia, that conversation very rarely extends past electricity generation. So the FTEC cellulosic ethanol project aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from the transport and agricultural sectors, while simultaneously providing a boost to rural and regional economies. Now, this is a very collaborative project. It involves industry, 3 levels of government, and the University of Newcastle. So, biofuels and renewable chemicals. So almost all biofuels produced to date are the result of first-generation processes. So what this means, the crops, the feedstock, are specifically grown for that process. Now, in a growing global population, and Australia's population just ticked over to 25 million this week, that's clearly unsustainable. So second-generation technologies are those that use agricultural and forestry residues for the feedstock. Now, this will remove that food versus fuel tension, and it'll also reduce greenhouse gas emissions compared to first-generation processes. It's also important to note there is significant second-generation biomass available in Australia, enough to displace all of the petrol that we currently import. So most emerging second-generation technologies use enzymes in their process, and these enzymes are very specific for the feedstock. So FTEC uses a closed-loop strong acid process, which is basically the sledgehammer approach, which makes it feedstock agnostic. And I guess the key feature of this is it can be integrated across multiple sectors. So this basically increases the amount of biomass available within a given economical draw radius. So to date, our shareholders have invested $18.6 million in the project, and we've recently announced $30 million in new funding. We received $11.9 million from ARENA. We received matching funding, $11.9 million from industry. We had to go to China for that money. We received $4.6 million from the New South Wales State Government, and also significant cash and in-kind contributions from both the University of Newcastle and Muswellbrook Council. So the impact of our technology, well, it'll be an Australian-branded biofuels production industry that'll allow Australia to enter the $130 billion global biorefining sector. It'll also directly reduce greenhouse gas emissions and improve air quality. It'll overcome that food versus fuel tension that currently exists with biofuels. And it'll generate value from fibre, which will future-proof current agricultural and forestry sectors. Sorry, it's gone from there. Importantly as well, if you create that value for fibre, you can underpin the economics of land remediation projects. So I'd like to speak with Megan, who is doing some phytoremediation. That could potentially be a feedstock for our process. And it'll also diversify rural and regional economies by value-adding feedstock and providing jobs in the bush. And I guess importantly for a country like us, where we import almost all of our liquid fuels, it'll provide a bit of liquid fuel security. Thank you.